Hey everybody, Dr. G here. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist and body language expert, and today we're going to be analyzing the behavior and body language of Donald Trump in his New York fraud case. What we're looking at today is him appearing in court before he testifies. A couple of quick things before we get started. I do want to remind you that despite the fact that this video is about a politician, it is not about politics. I don't care who you vote for, and I just did a video on Biden today if you want to watch that. In addition to that, I do want to remind you to like and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. All right, let's go. We're going to start with a clip of Donald Trump in court before he provided testimony. Let's see what his body language tells us. So you can see him looking directly at the camera, which is likely a sign of confidence. It probably gives us an idea of what he's going to be like on the stand. So he feels like he's in control right here. You can see him leaning forward with his forearms on the table. He did that back when he was on The Apprentice. He also did that when he was president. Let's keep going. He continues to look around the room, continues to make eye contact with people taking pictures of him, which is no surprise. He's been president. He's been in the public eye for a long time, but he doesn't seem particularly nervous right here. Now, I've pointed this out before, but if you look at the difference in body posture between him and his attorney tends to sit back, looks very relaxed, whereas Donald Trump is a lot more intense. He's leaning forward. Once again, he has his forearms on the table. He has a lot of intensity right now. So if we're to look at his body language as he's preparing to testify, it shouldn't shock anybody that he was aggressive on the stand, that he was saying what he wanted to say. And that's typically Trump's style. But he also looked like he was prepared for that. If you look at the way that he is sitting, if you look at the way that he is trying to basically control the courtroom, because this is how he has sat when he's been in a position of control before, it's not surprised that he would also try to be in control when responding to questions. So now we're going to watch a minute of Donald Trump after testifying when court was over.
I think it went very well. I think you were there and you listened and you see what a scam this is. This is a case that should have never been brought. It's a case that should be dismissed.
So if you compare this body language to after he finished court the first couple of days that this was going on, he seems a lot less agitated. So it is a very different presentation from Donald Trump than we saw during the first few days of this trial.
References to assets that were very valuable, and they said they had no idea. They had no idea what the numbers were when they said $18 million for Mar-a-Lago, and it's 50 to 100 times that amount.
So this is a different mode that Donald Trump gets in. Right now, he's basically just providing data and information. These are things that he said before. The energy behind it is very different now. These are things that he probably wants to make sure everybody hears, but this is just information. This is not an impassioned speech. It seems like whatever sparring he did with the judge, he left in the courtroom, because right now we're not really seeing the aggressiveness that it sounds like happened within the courtroom.
Taking days and days and weeks, and it goes on, and then you look at the outside world and what's happened. But of course, they're getting the wish, because I don't have to be here for the most part, but I sort of do have to be here because I want to be here, because it's a scam, and this is a case that should have never been.
So that's when the aggression starts to peak a little bit, when he says it's a scam. Now you're hearing a more energetic, a more angry Donald Trump. Listen to this right here, and listen to the difference in the way his voice changes as soon as he starts talking about this.
Because I don't have to be here for the most part, but I sort of do have to be here because I want to be here, because it's a scam. And this is a case that should have never been brought, and it's a case that now should be dismissed.
So even though he sounds a little bit more frustrated, a little angrier, he's still not showing it the same way he was days before.
Times at CBS, I'm sure the Times was not too happy. But people are sick and tired of what's happening. This is I think it's a very sad day for.
You notice he just said, I think it's a very sad day for America. He points down. He does do this a lot, where when he's talking about things being great or being big, he points up. When he's talking about things being bad, he points down. Now, that's not necessarily something that a lot of people do, but that is definitely something that Donald Trump does. Watch this part again, then we'll keep going.
Sick and tired of what's happening. This is I think it's a very sad day for America. But anyway, this is a case that should have never been.
Now, this isn't so much about Donald Trump, but watch how crazy the cameras go when he brings his hands out. because we oftentimes talk about how he moves his hands like this when he's being emphatic. There's nothing new about this, but it seems like the cameras, that this is something that the photographers were waiting for. Watch the difference in flashes from before he puts his hands up to after.
People are sick and tired of what's happening. This is I think it's a very sad day for America. But anyway, this is a case that should have never been brought, and it's a case that should be immediately dismissed. Thank you.
So when we talk about body language, the photographers use people's body language to help create the picture that they want. So it's interesting to me that that is the picture, that's the pose that was most appealing to so many photographers. I just find that sort of fascinating.
Thank you very much.
What do you think the right on the door? Are you coming back to the United States?
So his energy today was a lot more middle of the road once he had left court. Very different than some of the previous times that we've seen Donald Trump. Hopefully going over this has helped give you a little brief snapshot of what some of the body language we saw today was. I believe Donald Trump is done with his testimony in New York. We will likely see him again when he provides testimony in Georgia. Hopefully this is helping you better understand some of the body language that Donald Trump uses. I know this was a quick video, but if you have any other thoughts or anybody else you want me to analyze, please let me know in the comments below. Last thing before we get wrapped up is I do want to remind you to like and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. All right, thanks for watching.